So I had just enough of this 1/2 inch left if I cut the scrap piece down just right, and I didn't cut it down just right. So I'm gonna have to like splice on a little piece here on the end to make it long enough. Almost stuck to the table. You may remember a neon sign I did recently for a trailer motel called Hotel Caravana. Well, the client wants me to now make a smaller backlit version of that sign to hang somewhere else on the property. And I normally make something like this out of aluminum, but this is kind of small and has a lot of tight curves in it, so I thought I'd try a different technique and make this entirely out of PVC sheet. So why am I cutting this with the material at an angle like this? Well, I only have regular V-carve, not V-carve Pro, which means I am limited to an area of 24 by 24 inches. And this sign is a little bit wider than that, so I've got to cock it at 45 degrees to fit within that square. Unfortunately, that also meant that I had to do a little bit of figuring, and I needed to mark exactly where the material was going to lay down each time, exactly in the same place. And then I had to measure up and over to mark where my work zero is going to be, so I started in the same place every time so that it would, you know, cut in the material in the proper place. And, well, it was a whole thing. Unfortunately, the thickness of this PVC sheet is a little inconsistent, so I'm having to slice it apart in certain places. Ugh, this stuff reminds me of insect eggs. Ugh. No, 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 no. Man. Well, that was frustrating. In my initial tests, I tried using CA glue to glue this PVC sheet together, and it worked great. And I even had a little time to adjust, you know, my test pieces, but something happened this time, and I suspect maybe that because I had lightly sanded the surfaces of these to make sure that all the edges were flat. And I think maybe taking off the smooth surface of this, well, the CA glue bonded almost instantaneously, so I didn't have time to adjust, and so I am off fairly bad on a couple of these, which is really frustrating. Oh well, I gotta fix it now. It happens. This stuff stinks. Whew. There have got to be easier ways to get high. For the curious, the inner parts of a letter are called the counters. And I decided to cut them separately because at this size I find it easier to do them this way than trying to salvage them out of the original face carve. I got lucky down here. The scrap piece wasn't square on this end, and I forgot to do a ghost run to make sure this was going to fit on here properly. In fact, I have been really lucky this entire project that I haven't screwed up any of my cuts very badly, because I have had exactly enough material left for each of the parts of this sign without having to go and buy a full sheet of anything. Satisfying. Things are a little tight right in here, so I just want to make sure I apply these properly. That is modern art. All right. I just got to wire it up. Wired it up. Wired it up. All right. Now I just got to wire it up. I just said wired it up again. All right. Now I got to wire it up. God damn it. Okay, so I added one more strip for a little more brightness and some silicone here on the ends just for insurance. But I did that all off camera because, well, I mean, can't I have a personal life? And a grommet, because it's fun to say grommet. I don't know if you can tell, but this top part here, it angles up slightly this direction. And in the design, this right here is level with the ground. So I just need to make sure that these bolts, the tops of these are level with this so that it hangs correctly. It's not a big difference from here to here, but it could make a difference to the eye once installed. Perfect. Yes, I know I have to cut my fingernails. They're fast growers. I'm also tacking down some of the main face here, like you know, these long bits here, and maybe you can hear that it's not quite staying flat against the inside face, so I'm just tacking it down with a little bit of glue. I was originally concerned about how I was going to put on these little bits inside the letters, but I tested this super glue, and I was concerned about it sticking to the vinyl here, this colored vinyl. But I tested it a couple of days ago, and it would tear the vinyl before the glue would ever let go. So works great. Come on.